If your wife seems emotionally numb, like nothing you do moves her anymore, this isn't the end, it's a signal. And what it's telling you might save your marriage. Look, I get it. You've tried everything. You apologize, you gave her space, you show up differently, and still nothing. She's not angry, she's not screaming, she's just gone. The numbness, it feels like rejection. It's like she's checked out for good. But here's what most men miss. Numbness isn't the opposite of love, it's protection. And once you understand what she's protecting herself from and why, you can start leading her back. I'm Noah Allen, and I've helped hundreds of high performing men rebuild trust and reignite connection in their marriages that honestly were feeling like completely dead. Today, I'm going to show you 3 things: what numbness really means and why it's not what you think, the silent mistake that keeps her shut down, and the one shift that starts to bring her back. So let's go. When your wife goes numb, when she stops reacting, stops engaging, stops caring, it's not because she hates you. It's because caring hurts way too much. Think about it like this. Imagine you're standing outside in the freezing cold wind. At first, you feel everything: the stings, the aches, the sharpness. But if you stay out there long enough, your body stops feeling it. Not because the cold went away, but because your nervous system shut down to protect you from the pain. That's what numbness is. It's a survival mode. She didn't wake up one day and decide to stop loving you. She went numb because she felt unsafe, emotionally, not physically. Maybe you weren't consistent. Maybe your words didn't match your actions. Maybe every time she opened up, you reacted defensively. Maybe she asked for change and nothing changed. Over time, her brain learned it's safer to feel nothing than to hope and be disappointed again. What that looks like is she stops sharing what's on her mind, reacting to your affection, or fighting with you, because fighting feels like she still cares, or even making plans for the future, or look at you the way that she used to. And you feel it, that cold, distant roommate vibe. But here's what you need to understand. She didn't leave emotionally because she wanted to. She left because staying open felt too dangerous. Look, picture a guy at work who keeps promising his team he'll deliver, but he never does. At first, the team pushes back. They're frustrated, they complain, but eventually they stop asking. They stop expecting. They just work around him. That's not because they stopped caring about the project. It's because they stopped believing he would show up. Your wife's numbness works the same way. Most men see the numbness and think she's done. There's no point. So they either give up and pull back themselves, chase harder, hoping to get a reaction, get frustrated and resentful, but none of that works. Because numbness isn't the end of the marriage, it's the last line of defense before the end. And if you understand what caused it and you lead differently, you can bring her back. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, okay, but how do I actually do that? I want to invite you to book a free call with my team. We'll walk through exactly where your marriage is right now, what's keeping her numb, and the specific steps that you need to take to start rebuilding trust and reconnection. This isn't about hoping things get better. It's about having a clear plan built for you. That link is in the description below. Book your call. Let's figure this out together. All right, let's keep going. Here's the mistake that keeps her numb longer than anything else. Inconsistency. Not big blowups, not major betrayals, just the gap between what you say and what you do. And I'm not talking about lying. I'm talking about the small daily disconnects that add up over time. Let's say that you tell her, I'm going to be home by 6 for dinner. But then work runs late, or you stop by the gym, or you get caught up on her call. And you walk in at 7:15. No big deal, right? Except she planned dinner around 6. The kids waited. She built her evening around your word. And when you didn't show up without a heads up, without a text, she didn't just feel annoyed. She felt like your word doesn't mean anything. Do that enough times, she stops expecting you to follow through. She stops trusting that your word carries any weight whatsoever. When a woman goes numb, it's not because of one big moment. It's because of 1,000 small moments where she learned he says one thing, but does another. Maybe you said you'd help more around the house, but you didn't. Maybe you promised to work less, but you didn't. Maybe you told her you'd change how you respond when she was upset, but didn't. Each time her trust bank account took a withdrawal, and eventually the account went negative. That's when the numbness set in. Here's the tricky part though. Most men don't even realize they're doing this. They think, I'm doing my best. I'm trying. I think I'd change. What more does she want? But trying isn't the same as doing. And saying isn't the same as being. Imagine you're building a bridge. You lay out one beam, you skip a day, then you lay out another, then you skip a week. Eventually, no one's crossing that bridge. Not because they don't want to, but because they don't trust it won't collapse. Your marriage works the same way. Trust is built one consistent action at a time. And every time you say one thing and do another, even in small ways, you're pulling beams out of the bridge. Now, consistency doesn't mean perfection. It means when you say you'll do something, you do it. When you can't, you communicate before the deadline. Your words and actions align more often than not. She can predict your behavior because you're stable, not controlling, not rigid, just reliable. And when a woman feels that reliability returns, when she sees that your word actually means something again, that's when the numbness starts to crack. Now, here's a shift that changes everything. Stop trying to get her to feel differently. Start leading yourself differently. Most men, when their wife is numb, do one of two things. They either chase her emotionally, trying to get a reaction, or they shut down themselves and wait for her to come around. Both of those are strategies, and those are just reactive strategies. Both hand her power to determine your emotional state, and both keep her numb. Because here's what she's really watching for. Can you be solid when she's not? Leading doesn't mean controlling her. It means controlling yourself. It means you stay grounded when she's distant. You keep showing up consistently without expecting anything. You lead your own emotions instead of reacting to hers, and you become stable, predictable force in the relationship. Think about a captain steering a ship through a storm. The crew is panicking. The waves are crashing. Everything feels unstable. What does the captain do? Does he panic with them? Does he ask the crew to calm down first before he can be calm? No. He stays steady. He holds the wheel. He leads through the storm. Not because the storm stopped, but because he's solid regardless. That's what your wife needs to see from you right now. When you stop reacting to her numbness, when you stop chasing, pressuring, or even shutting down, something shifts. She starts to notice he's different. He's not falling apart. He's actually leading himself. And by the way, she's not going to say this out loud. She's thinking this in her head because there is a struggle, a battle between her head and her heart. The heart holds the emotional pain. The head is what is scanning conscientiously to say like, there's something different. And I'm going to tell you something a little off script here. Look, the brain and the reason why what we do here works is because you don't learn from a little bit of difference. The brain goes through the conscious mind and the ego by learning something massively different. So you can't just be a little bit different. That's why you have to break the patterns and you have to lead first. And look, that creates space for her to come back. Not because you earned it, not because you proved yourself, but because you became safe again. And safety is what allows numbness to thaw. Now, you don't need grand gestures. You don't need to win her back with some big romantic move. What you need are micro moments of consistency, small daily actions that prove you're different now. You say you'll text when you're running late, and you do. You say you'll handle something, and you handle it. You stay calm when she's cold instead of reacting defensively. You lead your own emotional state without needing her validation. Those micro moments, they add up, and over time, they rebuild the bridge. Now, let's say she comes home stressed after a long day. In the past, maybe you get defensive when she was short with you, or maybe you try to fix her mood and got frustrated when she didn't respond. But now, you stay calm. You don't take it personally. You offer support without needing her to appreciate it right away. You're just solid. That's leadership. And when she sees that enough times, when she sees that you're not going to fall apart every time she's distant, that's when her guard starts to come down. Look, I know this isn't easy. Watching your wife go numb is one of the hardest things a man can face. But here's the truth. Numbness is not the end. It's a signal that she needs something different from you. And the good news is you can give her that. Not by chasing, not by waiting, but by leading. If you want a clear step-by-step plan for how to do that, if you want to know exactly what to do next in your specific situation, I want to invite you to book a call with my team. We'll map out where your marriage is right now. We'll identify what's keeping her shut down, and we'll build you a plan to start bringing her back. This is what we do, and it works. That link is in the description below. Book your call. Let's get to work. Also, thanks for watching this. If this resonates with you, hit that like button and subscribe, because I drop new videos every single week on how to lead in your marriage like the man you were meant to be. And remember, rejection is something you decide. She's not done. She's protecting herself, and you can lead her back. I'll see you in the next one.